Hi everybody, I'm Brent. Welcome to the 2-minute tutorial series. The goal of this series is to go over photography topics that I find come up a lot during photo workshops, distilling it down into simple takeaways that will be nice, easy to digest. Okay, today we're going to talk about autofocus. And autofocus is so important because even if you've captured the most unique moment in the world with the most unique subject that no one else has ever seen before, if the photo's out of focus, except in a few very rare instances, it's not going to be any good. So if you're shooting with an action camera or a mobile phone, don't worry about it. The phone will, or the camera will focus by itself. But if you're shooting with a compact, a mirrorless, or a DSLR camera, that's where we can really control the focus point and how our camera is achieving focus on the subject. So single autofocus. Single autofocus allows us to lock focus on a subject when we have to press the shutter, unless we assign the autofocus to a different button. But when we have to press a shutter, that activates autofocus through the lens, the camera, and we start to find focus on the subject. And once the camera decides, hey, it's in focus, then we can push the rest of the shutter and take the picture. So priority is given there to autofocus before you're actually able to shoot the photo. And it's great for still subjects. If we have moving subjects, we want to use continuous autofocus. And continuous autofocus will start tracking the subject the whole time we're after pressing the shutter button. So it will follow that sea lion that's moving really fast, or it will follow any other quick moving subject or behavior that we're trying to capture until we're ready to push the shutter, and then we can push the shutter anytime. So in that case, with continuous autofocus, the priority is given to tracking the subject and then pushing the shutter. So we can push the shutter at any time, even the autofocus is saying, hey, we're not in complete focus. It's going to be very close, but there are going to be times where the focus won't be totally crisp, as if you were using single autofocus. So the benefit with continuous is that you can track, but it might not be in perfect focus all the time. I use both of those autofocus modes, and they both work for me in the different shooting situations. Next we have focus area, and those are the little boxes that you'll see in the camera. If you're shooting a compact, generally you'll just see the box in the frame, but if you're shooting a mirrorless or DSLR, you can choose different autofocus areas. Some will be more automatic or face or even eye tracking, but some will just be simple, like a crosshatch pattern or even a simple dot or a square. And I'll use all of those. Generally the dot or the square for shooting macro and small, very precise focus images, whereas the larger points will be better for tracking subjects that are moving through the frame, like a dolphin's face or a shark, for instance. Okay, and my last point is to move that autofocus point around. If it's stuck in the center, you're really limiting your composition. But what you want to do is move that focus point around. Maybe it goes to the side, it goes to the bottom, diagonal, every which way. You can move it around a number of different focus points regardless of which camera you're shooting, compact, mirrorless, or DSLR. So really move that focus point around so you can get it on the eye of the subject in a macro composition, or if you have a big animal swimming through the frame from the left to the right, then you can track it and still have swim space in front of them. So by moving that autofocus point around, you really have a lot of creativity in your composition. So definitely do it. And that's it. So thanks for subscribing to my newsletter. If you're not subscribed and you're on YouTube, please check out my website, www.brentdurand.com, and you can subscribe there for a lot more photo tips and the rest of the video tutorial series. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.